new to my channel, I'm just a girl who likes reading romance, fantasy romance, paranormal romance, any kind of genre of romance in general. And I also happen to have cerebral palsy, and it would mean the world to me if you would subscribe to my channel. Happy Friday! I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm very excited for today's video because it's a collaboration with Becky from X Reads. I'll leave her channel down below in the description. She asked me to do a collab video with her. It's the Disability Pride book tag, and she asked me to do it with her. So I'm very honored and excited that she asked me. I'll leave Becky's channel down below in the description, along with the questions for these tags, in case you would want to answer them. Question 1. How would you describe your disability? I'm just gonna give you a general description of what cerebral palsy is, in case you didn't know. Cerebral palsy happens at birth when damage occurs to your brain development. In my case, at birth, I didn't get enough oxygen in my brain. So that's what the cerebral part of it means. That it affects your brain. The palsy part, the second part, affects your motor functions, your muscle tone, your balance. That's what the palsy means. Your muscle tone, your balance, etc. It is also common for people with cerebral palsy to get seizures. Luckily, I'm not affected by seizures, thank goodness, but I know a lot of people with cerebral palsy, that's one of their symptoms. Luckily, I'm one of the fortunate people that don't experience seizures. 10,000 babies are born with cerebral palsy each year, so it is very common, in case you did not know that fact. 60% of people with cerebral palsy can walk. 30% are in wheelchairs. If you guys did not know that fact. But it's important, if you're a baby and you're diagnosed with cerebral palsy, it's important to go to therapy starting when you're a baby onward, because that will affect whether you're in the 60% that can walk or the 30% that are in a wheelchair, in case you did not know that fact. Question number 2. How did my disability affect my reading? It doesn't affect my reading because my disability is more of a mobile issue, but when I have a physical book, I like to put the book down on the table and just flip through the pages, because if I hold it, I could drop the book. So I like to put the book down, because if you also didn't know, people with the cerebral palsy frighten easily. Like, if someone at the back of me, and I didn't know it. They say boo, like my leg freeze up, I freeze up, and I startle easily. So I would rip one of the pages if that would happen. So I like to put the book down and just read it that way. But I take the dust jacket off because I don't want to ruin it. Have you read any books that represent your disability? Question 3. I've read 2 books that represent. I've read 2 books that represent cerebral palsy. And fun fact, if you look in Goodreads and look at books with cerebral palsy representation in them, there are only 4 books that represent cerebral palsy, and I've only read 2 of them. There are only 4, and as I said before, 10,000 babies are born with cerebral palsy each year, and I'm hoping and praying that more authors write about cerebral palsy. But the 2 books I'm going to mention that have cerebral palsy representation in them are Priceless by KAGE. I read this years ago, so I don't remember the name of the author, so I'll put the picture over there. And A Curse of Dark and Lonely. Know of any authors that have a similar disability to you? No, I do not. Are there any cliched or misrepresented plots or any disability that you wish authors wouldn't use? I can't really answer this question because I've only read 2 books, but I will say in Priceless, even though I read it years ago, I didn't like the cerebral palsy representation because I remember the heroine is the one that had CP, and they gave her the wrong medicine to handle her spasticity, and she just felt tired, if I remember correctly. And if somebody gave me the wrong medication, I would act a lot more than tired. Like, my spasticity would act up really bad, and the author did not show that. I could be wrong because I haven't read this book in years, but yeah, that was a miss for me. So I did not like how cerebral palsy was represented in Priceless. And question number 7. What are your favorite books with disability rep? My favorite books with disability rep are Making Faces, Always Only You, Out on the Limb by Hannah Bottom Young. Those are my favorite books with disability rep. Question number 8, are there any upcoming releases that with disability rep that you're excited to read? I already read this book, but Hannah Bottom Young, Out on a Limb. Is there any bookish spaces or communities you wish could do better to make it accessible for your specific disability? And I wish there were with CP wrapped in it. with more characters with cerebral palsy, because again, there are 10,000 babies born with CP every year. And when I think of these kids growing up, none of them can see themselves represented in these books. Again, when you look on Goodreads, there are only 4 books with CP rep in them. And I just wish more authors would be willing enough to write books about CP. Those are all the questions from this tag. Please let me know down in the comments below if you have cerebral palsy or if you would like to do this tag. I'm gonna tag 2 people for this to also do this tag. I'm gonna tag Avery from Ava's Romance Books and Bree from In Love and Words. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. That would mean the world to me. And I'll see ya Monday. Bye.